to my classroom. I'm just going to run you through briefly what I have been doing with the Authorthink process, and this here is what we use for the seniors. There is a simpler version for the juniors, but from here you can actually tick off different parts of the curriculum as well, and you can actually tick through as a teacher. It's a lot easier to read this one than just go from the main headings. So my class, we use this all the time. We use it not just for writing, but we use it for our inquiry. We use it for pretty much the whole process. So after I've had a little bit of a blab, you can have a look around, and I've given you examples of when we've done it for writing as well as when we've done it for our inquiry, real life learning, how it all actually fits together, because you don't actually have to use it just for writing. The kids have worked out that we don't always publish. Not everything gets published because we're looking for a quality piece of work. So sometimes we will end up going planning research, we need to just do note taking. So like for example, we've been doing documentaries this term, so we've been sitting and taking notes, researching, planning. So that's just stayed at that part there, and then others that have then gone into the script writing will then take that information from different people and actually go to working copy. Then they'll have an author circle. So we've done an author circle today on one of the scripts, so you can actually see the kids interacting and talking about how they can improve it, what they like about it. And then when Lisa gets back tomorrow, she'll be able to take that information and then re-look at it and try and change it before it even gets to me and my directors, who are the ones that are actually directing our production, before it even gets to our presenters. So that is how one way we've actually done it. So down here on the floor I've got brainstorming. They all start with their brainstorm different colours. This was on the Mufti Day and term 2. So they looked at different ways of doing it. They looked at different activities that they wanted to have. They went through all of this and they wrote down what the purpose was, because that's the thing, I can determine my purpose. They wrote down what the purpose of their Mufti Day was. They can determine my audience. They wrote down who they thought the audience was going to be for. They wrote down what the message was that they wanted to get across, which is that one there. They worked out what kind of medium they wanted to use, which was obviously a Mufti Day. It wasn't actually something that was going to be materialistic. They looked at what their criteria was, one of their criteria to get a yes from Mr. P, which they finally got in the end. And then they looked at their research. What do they actually need to go and look at? So they followed this procedure here and made sure that what was on that, they could tick it off, and then they flipped through and went off to do whatever else they needed to do. Like they had to work out how to write an email to Mr. Petrie. They had to work out what questions they wanted to ask him. So all those type of things came under a working copy. They went away, they asked others in the class, they practiced on them before they came around to me and did a mock. What would you say if I was Mr. Petrie? What would I say? And then I would either send them away and say no, that's not good enough, and they would start the whole process again. This PowerPoint is from Lane. It explains this whole thing here, and it's all under the teacher resources. So all you have to do is just click on it. You can even listen to Lane at the same time because she's got her beautiful voiceover. So you don't have to listen to me. Yeah, so the kids love it. They use it all the time. There's evidence of it through everything that we pretty much do. Probably the only thing I haven't done it with is maths, really. And just thinking about that now, probably could do it with maths. They have to come do planning, learn about how to do it, and then go away, try it out. Does it work? How can I improve? How can I make better? Before they do the whole thing. So I think you can throw it in, not just in your actual writing. Yeah. Any questions?
Lo, you talked about before with me that you, for a while, because I know you did it all last year as well with your class, like everything, sometimes you forget to put things into your program. You're just talking to me. Do you want to just talk about what you found out when you didn't use it?
So obviously this has been up on the wall, and we've used it and used it and used it to death. And when I have used it, the quality of the work is huge out of the kids. So that's me going, okay, remember you've got to do your brainstorming, what comes next. If I haven't said that to them, and they've just completely missed out this, and gone straight to a working copy, and then missed out an author circle, and just gone straight to here, the quality is so much worse. And I have to actually say to them, no, stop, have you done this, have you done these? And it's not until they've actually followed the process that the quality and the depth of what they've actually come out with is just so much more richer. It's just, you know, yeah, I mean our whole 3 panels up there, it's all following this, and I'm really proud of what they've come up with that. But none of that would have happened if we had missed out pieces of the actual process. Yeah, having a mind map is just so valuable, and the kids know that whatever's in one colour is associated with that paragraph or that piece of information. The children that don't do it in colour find it a little bit more difficult, and their work is a little bit more all over the show than children that have actually got it in colour in their books, and then they've gone, okay, that tells me everything about that, so I need to add that there, then it comes here, and then there's a process. So that's just a few observations that I have worked out throughout the, you know, and I mean I did this with my year 3s last year, and they just rocketed with it, so yeah. So what I've done is I've set it up in the room as it is on here, so you can actually walk around and see the different pieces. And so I've tried to put bits of work. Obviously when you get to working copy and self-editing these bits, it all kind of merges into one page, because you know that's what it happens. And yeah, and I've got a live author circle on the back table over there. Any questions?
When you said colour, do you mean the stages to be in colour?
That colour, rather than
Oh, I see, in colour.
yeah, in colour. Okay. So this was a lot harder to read and to follow and to do whatever, whereas this one, we knew exactly that these are the ideas, we're going to go off and do that, these off there, whereas that one was a lot harder to try and comprehend and come up with. Yeah.
So that comes back to principles of mind mapping, isn't it? Because one of the principles of mind mapping is to use colour. Yeah. To help organise.
You'll notice that some of the kids will have colour in their books, and then they've got their stories after it, and then you'll see that some of them are in black and white or just in pen in one colour, and then they've got even less of a piece of work or something like that, just purely because of
But you use colour really well, Lo, because I've seen like when kids are filling out organised together, each kid will be associated with a colour, so you know how we do initials and everything, she actually uses a kid's colour, so mine might be blue and Lou's might be red, and everything we do is in colour, so she uses colour lots for her organisation, and makes it easy for the kids to see what they've done and what they haven't done.
And it's interesting because I did that yesterday with the kids on the other side of the movie thing there, and they were like, oh, I've only got 2, quick, I need to find it, you know, and they were like working with each other to try and make sure that they were actually switched on and trying to find more information rather than you can't see where I'm looking on the page type of thing. So yeah.
Even using colour throughout that process too, and having colours on each view of being age for different areas, so that you could really see growth in kids too.
Seeing the editing and everything,
editing and how that movement and that shift,
all the circle,
powerful.
Yeah.
You know, and they can see.
And using the children to use those models and fool them in themselves, isn't it too? Like, you know, taking them through and, you know, colouring them in those models too. It is.
That's your visible ending.
And you can even highlight on those ones and the details, or for junior ones, like what actually want to focus the kids on, because you don't always have to focus on everything as well. So more specific.
So we often will scribble all over this. or like last year I had it up and we had examples for each piece so that the kids could see what it actually looked like, so what they were trying to achieve, and that just stayed up so that they could actually refer back to it at the time as well.